All I know is Bradley Beal's in town tonight, and this is what we call a regret game because he's going to be looking around Miami. He's going to be like, oh. Because he's going to think to himself, why did I sign that extension? Why did I do that?
I'm going to tell you why.
I could have been traded.
No.
I could have been traded. I could have signed an extension with Miami.
I'm going to tell you why he signed that extension. Because a lot of money.
Oh, it's a lot of money, but I mean...
I think sometimes in sports, man, you guys look at sports and lose track of the end result. Like, yeah, man, you want to win, but you also want to make as much as you can.
I get you, but the thing that I find funny about it is, like, I remember I listening to an interview with Bradley Beal with Woj after he did it, and he goes, yeah. He goes, I like the fact that in Washington I got a lot more say here. I got I got influence around the Washington Wizards, which you certainly wouldn't have in Miami as much because it's Riley's show. But,
I mean, like, okay, so he feels good. He feels good about having to say so.
He did, and then this week happened, and he was freaking out about the culture and the lack of winning. And then a report from The Athletic came out and said he's never been more angry with the Wizards. It's like, well, dude, you've been with this franchise now since you've been drafted. What'd you think was going to happen?
Right.
What'd you think? You've been a Wizard your entire career. Why would they stop wizarding? Why? Why would they stop wizarding? They are who they are. They're not a good franchise. They haven't been a good franchise. John Wall's leg doesn't work. Why would you think that's going to get better immediately when he comes back at a guy whose game is entirely built on speed? Why do you think this is going to get better?
True.
And that's why I wonder with the extension, like, yeah, I get it, get what you can get, but Bradley Beal's he's a special talent, especially as a scorer. Why would you think that money's not going to be there? Like, I just saw Kevin Durant sign a deal with a torn Achilles, a franchise like, we think you'll be back. We think you'll be back. No worries.
Right.
No worries.
Right.
So that's all I'm saying. I think that's, from that perspective, I think he's going to look around tonight and be like, oh, good in here.
I think I found our winner. Well, I'm just going back year by year, checking the standings, and I don't think they're going to do better than this. In the 2012-2013 season, the 27-game win streak season, they went 66-16. They went 37-4 at home. I doubt they're going to be better than that.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's probably the winner.
Oh, yeah. I didn't
That's
think
pretty good. That's pretty good.
I mean, because we didn't make that much of a big deal about that then.
No, it was more on the win streak. Yeah,
right.
But yeah, that was.
I thought it was going to be like maybe 10 losses at home during the course of the year, not 4.
Yeah, put it this way: the year before in a lockout season, they went 28-5, so they had more losses.
Oh my goodness!
They had more losses in a lockout season than the next year.
They had 9 losses at home in 2 years.
Yeah, that
them tickets were yeah.
It's like 1.75 years.
That seems pretty good. I enjoy that. Speaking of which, interesting, one other guy that we speaking of the money, this made me laugh. So you remember the Chris Paul deal and how some people were like, well, why don't you trade for Chris Paul and maybe you could do a wink wink that he'll opt out of that last year of his deal. You know, the one where he makes $44 million.
Wait. Here. Now. Can I explain to these dummies one thing?
Yeah.
Chris Paul is friends with D. Wade.
Right.
What do you think D. Wade's telling him? Don't do it.
Oh, well, I don't even think you need to be friends with D. Wade to know what to do with a guaranteed $44 million. How many people have made $44 million in a year of basketball?
Right.
Has anybody?
No, they haven't gotten there yet, but they're coming.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty. That's pretty bananas. But he did an interview with Rohan Nadkarni, who does a great job writing for Sports Illustrated. Does some great Heat pieces. I think he's from down here. If not, I know he's done a lot of Heat stuff, and he's done some really good interviews. He was the one. I was trying to think of the recent piece. I'll come up with it in my mind in a second. But anyway, he got to sit down with Chris Paul in Oklahoma City, kind of talk about the whole offseason. Mm-hmm. And he was asked whether or not he would waive his $44.2 million option if he could be traded to a championship contender. Chris Paul's quote, "No chance. That's not happening. Nope."
Wait, I mean, and I would be
mad at Chris Paul.
I would be mad at somebody who would think he would.
Yeah.
Like, really? Why do we do that with athletes? We expect athletes, give up some money for the team. Do that. Anybody ever do that at their job?
Well, I'll tell you what's cool about it for Chris Paul. This has definitely got to be a swaggering year for him because, he got traded from Houston and everybody thought he was going to be so miserable in Oklahoma City that, Miami was kind of the only place that had, pieces to trade for him because of Dion, James Johnson, Kelly Olynyk. They can match the salaries. If for example, like OKC wanted to just get off that $44 million, and we know Miami likes stars. But it's just if the injury thing is just too much to risk for something like that.
He's going to play all 82, right?
I know, right? It's definitely going to happen. But it just is like that's he's still an excellent player. But man, like think about this, Leroy. They have one less loss than the Rockets this year.
Right.
Rockets are 26-16. Oklahoma City 25-19. They just beat the Rockets where James Harden went. What did he go?
1 for 17.
Woo!
Here's the problem with the three of those guys. Any two combinations play together, you're going to have the same problem. All three of them are ball dominant. So what do you do with that? Like, if you go to Houston, James Harden is the guy. So Chris Paul is in a place where he can be Chris Paul. Mm. And it's not a knock on Russ. It's not a knock on Harden. It's not a knock on Chris Paul. That's just what kind of players they are, and they have led teams by themselves. So to think that if you join them up, now you're going to be twice as good is not accurate because they only have one ball. So to have Chris Paul by himself, right? But now you have Russ and Harden together, you kind of face the same thing, even though the both of them have gone out and scored 30 points each. Well, I saw the other night, 29 and 30, right? Or 29 and 32. So again, what do you do when everybody's ball dominant of the three of them?
Well, I just wanted to do that. That was a segment I like to call catching up on guys who are Heat targets, or linked to the Heat.
No, what we call that? May have dodged a bullet.